Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, and that means it's time for Muppin Sewing Emporium. How are you doing today? I'm doing wonderfully well. I hope you are as well. My friends, it is a beautiful Friday. Cold. So cold. Like in the 30s here in beautiful, chilly downtown Paducah, Kentucky. We are live to you through the power of the internet and coming to you here in our studio here in Paducah. I am Cheryl Muppin Whited, your host. And tonight, my friends, we have a lot going on. I have some cool things to show you. I have also a demo tonight of the Pom Pom Maker. And tonight we're going to talk about this. This is the Clover Pom Pom Maker, and I'm kind of excited. These are new to the shop, and let's get into all of the other things that we have to do. If you're out there and you can hear me, say hello, give me a thumbs up. If you can't hear me, go ahead and tell us in the comments, but also tell us where you are watching from. My friends, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a a like and subscribe. And if you are watching over on Facebook, please do me a favor and follow our page. As you know, the last couple of weeks, we've had so much new product. Thank you all for your wonderful orders that you placed for Black Friday through Cyber Monday and supporting small businesses like ours. We do so much appreciate you. And as always, we've got some fun things to show you. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we showed you a pattern called the Big Beautiful, or the Big Quilted Bow. Hello, Susan. And from Frozen, Illinois. It is also very, very cold here in Paducah. It's like 30-ish degrees outside, and it is very cold. I do want to mention really quickly that if you are ordering for Christmas, the last day that we can guarantee that you will get that package before the holiday is December 13th. So you have about a week to place that order if you're going to order anything for the holiday. Okay, so last week we showed you a fabric, this lovely fabric. This is a cheater panel cloth that is by a young lady. She is 14 years old. She's a 14-year-old designer, and she designed this fabric, and this is a cheater panel, and it's got all kinds of cute little motifs on it. But wait until you see what we made out of it. You ready? Okay, I'm ready because this is very exciting. It is the Big Quilted Bow. Look at how stinking cute this is, you guys. It's made out of that panel, out of that cheater cloth. And the pattern is called the Big Quilted Bow. And we do carry this in our shop, in the shop. And I'm not kidding when I say this is a big bow. Okay, this would be absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous on your front door. Okay, Susan says it is amazeballs. It is amazeballs. I thought it was so cute out of this fabric. Okay, so as you can see, it's huge. It's gigantic. It is approximately 20 inches across, and it's supposed to be about 28 inches the other direction. Now, here's what's really cool about this pattern. It is reversible. So on the back, I decided to put some gingham, and the back side of this is reversible to gingham. And what you would do is then just flip this bow inside out so that the outside is now on that, and then this strap, which is kind of holding it all together, this strap is also reversible. Isn't this the cutest in this panel, in this sort of patchwork? Very fun, very easy. Okay, it's very beginner friendly. So if you are a beginner or you know a beginner, this one will be a quick sew for you, for them. Okay, it does have the directions on making the sort of ribbon style tails, which is very simple to do. I just finished this today, and if you are interested in making this out of a panel, a piece, you will need, I think, about 1.5 yards of this panel, and I'm going to show you exactly a little bit here about how I did this. So I'm going to pull the video up. La, 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 la. Come on now, picture in picture. Work with me. Okay, so here is the bow, and as you can see, it's got all of these little squares, and you're gonna think, Cheryl, like, I can imagine this piecing, right? Well, guess what? So the whole of this pattern calls for 4-inch blocks. Okay, so here is the yardage, and got my secret things I'm going to show you. So here's what I did. I took the blocks and I just folded them like so, and pressed them along these where the blocks come together, and did a 1/4-inch seam, and then went back and did it in this direction. And this panel essentially then becomes just one big patchwork. And then the blocks are perfectly placed so that this dovetail divides that block in perfect half. Does that make sense? So finished, these blocks are 3.5-inch finished, and you get that by folding the individual seams here and just stitching, and you do all of the rows, and then you come back and do all of your columns for all of my friends who are uh, friends who do Microsoft Excel. So what that does is that creates this finished block at 3.5 inches, which is what is called for in the patchwork. Now, let's say you don't want these blocks and you only want these blocks. Guess what? Just cut all of these up and then arrange the blocks however you want. This couldn't be an easier sew to do for the big, beautiful quilted bow. And I do think that this is just a darling addition. This would be perfect for your front door, perfect for your office door, perfect for the top of your Christmas tree, or to highlight a special gift that you are giving. But so I, being an advanced sewist, okay, I'm considering myself advanced. It took me 3 hours to make this. So if you were a beginner, I would probably say that this is a 10-hour project. Not because it's hard, but because you have all of the piecing and then the quilting and the instructions that the pattern gives you. So the big, beautiful bow is finished here in our shop, and I love it. It is so cute, and I can't wait to also show it in the reverse with the gingham side. So if you haven't picked up this pattern yet, we do carry it. It is by a designer called Lindsay Creates, and she is the originator of the original bow. And this one does come with reversible whole cloth and patchwork examples. So you can do this in a bunch of different ways. Isn't that adorable? Isn't that cute? Okay. So I think you're going to love it. Sonia, the back, this is perfection. I know it's got, you can't really see, the interior as much, but once it's flipped, it's so cute. This just really came out so well. Okay. So we've had a couple of restocks, and I do want to point out that when I made my stylish sewing caddy, right away it sold out. Like, we made it, and then it was like boom, it sold out like crazy. This, my friends, is another one of those. This is a Zaka Workshop kit. It does come with the zipper and the interior bracketing that makes this an open, wide mouth interior here, so that you can get into the middle here. Let me just back this out so you can see it better. So you've got the ability to, open this up wide, and then it comes down into sort of like, Charlie calls this like a mini doctor's bag. Okay. And it does have the pockets on the outside, so you can put your favorite tools in there. And then on the interior, this was so simple to make. The project is back in stock, and it does only take 3 fat quarters. I used 4 because I used 1, 2, 3, and then 4. But you can do it with 3 fat quarters if you prefer. I also used the bag foam in this, and I feel like that gives this some really, really excellent structure. So give this one a try. It is back in stock, the stylish sewing caddy. So very, very excited about that. Okay, so that is here back in stock. I wanted to point out a few of these sashiko panels. Mariana, I think you do have a kit for the stylish sewing caddy, but if not, go look through those receipts if you ordered it or not, or you can ask me to look it up a bit later, which I'm happy to do. Okay, so we have some samplers for sashiko. And for those of you that don't know what sashiko is or sashiko is a Japanese embroidery technique where you are sewing over pre-printed lines that wash out of the fabric, and you basically make your stitches directly over the top of the pre-printed panel. And if you want to know what the panels look like, we have the design here is on the front, and then we have them in several designs. So we have this one that's called Modern Sampler, which takes a little bit of the traditional, but with a little bit of a twist. We've got some that are much more modern, but this panel can be cut into pieces, and you can use these as blocks in a quilt or on a jacket or some other, ways to use that one. We also have these, this is a traditional 6-panel sampler. You see you've got dragonflies, some chains, you've got like an orange peel design, lots of traditional styles, some sakura, and some chrysanthemums. And these, again, can be used on their own, or you can cut these into 6 pieces, put borders around them, and make a really lovely quilt. Now, again, these are on the indigo colored fabric, so it's like a sort of a deep navy blue. And then we also have this one, which is the various Japanese crests. And these also are about 6 inches or so. And you can see there, and you can just stitch over these, cut this away, and then put this on another thing. So you can either make quilts out of these blocks, or you can use these as individual coasters or placemats or whatever your heart desires. But we have quite a few of these, and we have a lot of the traditional sashiko white. So if you need the thread, we have that as well. I also would be remiss if I did not tell you that we have restocked almost all of our hitomizashi, which is the 1-stitch embroideries. And this one is the forest. We have the butterflies. We have the skulls and the Space Invaders. We have all of our traditional designs in stock. So that is been restocked. So that's very exciting. But wait, there's more. I have to tell you that the pre-cut quilt kit, well, it's not pre-cut, but it's like all the fabric for the top and the binding is here. And this is the Supen, very painterly, beautiful fabrics, and it makes this quilt. Jerry says, look at all the baby trees. That is the, yes, little baby trees. Aren't they sweet? So we've had a great response to this, this kit. So if you haven't yet picked yours up, this is a great time to do that. You will look for this under our kits section. So we just brought these in because the companies are starting to offer these to us as sort of like ready to turn into a quilt. You've got the pattern that comes with it, and you just follow the directions, and it will make that. And this quilt finishes at 50 inches by 64 inches. So that's a pretty decent sized quilt. So we've got this in stock, and the whole kit is $69. So those of you that are familiar with making quilts know that this here is a really, really, really good deal. And look at those beautiful, like, just very colorful, very painterly fabrics. You will love this. Okay. I feel like I'm like rushing through because I want to get to tonight's demo. We have a brand new collection that came in tonight. Like right when I got home with dinner, it was waiting on the doorstep. So I literally rushed with it here, and it's already in our computer system. So this, my friends, is called the Plaid Venture Club. Get it? Plaidventure? Adventure? Okay. So this is a very sort of outdoorsy, masculine collection. And I know that, you know, Charlie and I, when we look at fabrics, all we see are flowers and sort of abstracts and things like that. And when we always get asked, do you have any men's fabric? And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but no. Right? Like, this is really cool. Mary likes the name Plaidventure. Okay. And I have to admit, I like this too. This is a very sort of think hunting club, sort of, you know, outdoorsy sportsman theme. So you've got like these gorgeous greens, these hunter greens. You've got this one with the pointer dog on it. Of course, some gorgeous argyles, some plaid, of course. I mean, it can't be called Plaidventure unless it looks like men's shirts. And this is all printed on beautiful cotton, but they look wovens. They look like they're wovens, but they are not. Okay, they are just printed. This would make a lovely, sort of comfy cabin quilt. You got some houndstooth here. You've got sort of a checker kind of plaid. Of course, you have to have some ducks, right? You can't have it without some ducks. You've got more plaids. I think there's only the couple of duck fabrics in here. There's really, like, that's it for the ducks. So if you weren't like real excited about that, you don't have to have them. You've kind of got like these rust color in here as well. Sort of that rusty maroon color. There's some more ducks. Oh, just look at that, right? With that sort of cheddary mustard color, some brown. Oh, just very you know, it just has a masculine feel. Like they're very much you know, like if you have like a cabin, this is great for cabin, like your cabin quilt. Um oh, just these blues are gorgeous. That deep blue that goes with that hunter deep green. And then just the way that they're mixed in these houndstooths. Aren't these pretty? I mean, they're just stunning. And, you know, again, they do kind of give you that sort of feel that you're like fly fishing, you're out in the wilderness. So when they called it the Plaid Venture, I think it was very well named. fireside fireplace type quilt. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is gorgeous stuff. Very not what we typically carry, but I gotta say, like, we get asked for this kind of stuff all the time. And people are like, do you have any like boy fabric? And I'm like, what's a boy fabric? Like, you know, you start to like, wonder, like, but I mean, compared to, like this, like, they're just two very different palettes. Neither one of them are right or wrong. Okay. But there's just two very different palettes. Now there are 27 pieces in this bundle. So it's a price tag that is a little on the high side. It's $92, but I did the math and that is under our normal $3.50 per fat quarter piece. So it's a very it's got like a very, cool vibe, and it works so well together or just in chunks, like that right there, that right there, that right there. Right, Jerry? Like, this is a very cool quilt like fabric. It's just really neat. So I feel like this one is gonna appeal to a lot of people. Just even just on that cozy, comfy feel. It really just is a cool thing. So yes, high price tag, but per piece, it's cheaper than what we sell individual fat quarters for in the shop. So you're getting a good deal, and you get a lot of fabric to make a really decent sized quilt out of. So there's 27 pieces in this bundle, and I'm not gonna spend the time to wrap it up, but you get the idea. Plaid Venture with the dash. So we have two more things to show you that just came in, and I am so in love with this new, they're calling it finally a scissor minder, but it is also a needle minder. So, what you can do is you can take your needles and you can stick it to it. And I typically, with these, and we have several of these in stock, but what you do is, and I am going to open this one, but I take them. I was like, how did they hide the other piece? Oh, it just slid out. Okay, so this is the needle minder, and you're like, that is a heck of a needle minder. It is a typewriter, and it's gorgeous. It's really pretty. So I wear these on my apron when I sew, and you can see, you can also wear it as just, a typewriter. But this is the best part. Okay, you take your scissors and there they are. Okay, so your scissors stick to it. You always know where your scissors are. So that's what I do when I sew. I have one of these, and I just put my scissors there, and that keeps me from doing the lifting of all the things. Where did I put them? I always know they're going to be right there. So I love my scissor minder, needle minder, but if you've never had one of these, this one's the one to get. It is a very, very cool, like, QWERTY, old vintage typewriter. Let's get that to do its thing there. There it goes. And as you can see, it's got a giant magnet on the back, and your scissors stick to it, needles stick to it. It's awesome. So this just came in today, just now, and they're already in the shop. So if you want to grab one of these, I believe it is $16. I think it's 16. Yes. So we have the magnetic scissor minder. That's new. And then the last thing that we have, my friends, is a it is a kaleidoscope, but it is a what they're calling the quilt scope. Okay, so quilty scope. All right, so let's see what the quilty scope does. Let's see if we can put this up to the thing here. Okay, so essentially, like what this does is it is supposed to help you determine colors. Okay, so you know what? Let's take one of those plaids and let's take a look at it under this and see what it looks like. Okay, so we've got this one here. Let's do this one with the, and take a look at what it does. So what this is supposed to be doing is to help you determine whether or not your fabric is overwhelming with one color or another. And if you are, going to be adding any colors to it, it helps you determine if that color is appropriate or not by helping you step back, not looking at the design on the fabric per se, but also like looking at the colors and saying, like, that is a good color or is that a bad color to add to this fabric. So I think, like, if you are just not very confident about your color selections, this is going to be super helpful to look at things from afar and also kind of get a sense of how those colors play with each other and whether or not those things are overwhelming to the design. The other thing that this is good for is if you have, like, say, a batik fabric or a fabric that has kind of a lot going on in it and you're going to end up cutting into it. What this can do is it does that sort of prism effect, and that prism effect helps you take the design of the fabric away and just look at the colors in the fabric. It is a pretty cool thing. So, I know that people are like, Cheryl, that's like a kaleidoscope, but unlike a kaleidoscope that you like, usually they have like little gems and whatnot inside here to make the colors. What this is doing is this is taking the color from whatever you are pointing it at. And this is a cool gadget if you are you are not confident with color selection, and it goes with their various other tools, and it does give you some tips on how to use it, as well as a QR code on other ways to work with their color selection tools. So, I know that there are people who are just not very confident with their color picking skills, and so the quilty scope is $14, and we just got them in, so they are ready to be ordered right now. So that is the quilty scope. Okay, so that is all of I am not kidding. That is all I have been doing since we took this out of the package, I wanted just to go looking around at everything's colors. Absolutely. Because it is a lot of fun. Okay. This is quite the cool gadget. So just think, if you've got someone that you need to get something for, this is a great gift. Okay, now tonight we are going to talk about the Pom Pom Maker Set, which we just got in stock here at the shop. This is a set. It does come with four different sizes, and it comes with, of course, very good and clear instructions on and in the package. But we're going to take one of these. We're going to make something tonight, just because. Okay, and since it is December, and I'm gonna bring the camera back over so we can talk about this. So I just have been kind of wanting one of these for a while. But I forget who, somebody asked me about this recently, and it does have some examples, of pom poms in there. But here's essentially how these work. And this is super clever because you're going to be like, Cheryl, why can't I just use a piece of cardboard like we did when I was a child? And I'm going to tell you, you're going to want one of these after you see how cool this thing works. Okay, so here's essentially how they work. They have like these arms that swing out. And this here is essentially one half of the pom pom. And the other half is on this side. And you take your yarn and you wrap it around these areas here. So I have some yarn that I am going to use. And I heard a thing that says in order to get the yarn end out of your yarn ball, that you have to do you are supposed to like lovingly spank it, and then you can find the middle and pull it out. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the outside because I don't want to fuss with this thing too much. But I'm going to do my tree. Well, I'm going to show you what we're going to make. But it is a Christmas tree, and I'm using the largest of these yo-yo makers. And essentially what you do is you start by wrapping your yarn. And you want to make sure it gets around that little lip. And then you go nuts. You go to town. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover everything first. And then we're going to layer in some Christmas ornaments. So I've got everything sort of covered here. And I'm leaving that alone. And I'm going to bring in some red. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just wrap this around a couple of times in one spot. Try to keep it in one location. And then I'm just going to try to cross the layers there. I'm not trying to do a ton of wraps with that particular kind. I'm just going to, and then you go back and you cover it up. And so what you want to do is take your colors And you're gonna just, and I'm gonna just cut a piece. And just gonna wrap it in that one spot. And then you just take the yarn and keep covering it up. And you kind of want your other, this is all tied up. This is one that's like, see, it's like a yarn snot. I'm not a yarn person, okay? We need a yarn store in town. So if you want to come to Paducah and open up a yarn store, we would love that to happen. Because we really need a yarn store. I don't want to go and buy like big box yarn, although I did go and buy this. Not specifically for this project though. I was doing a different project with this. But here is enough to do like a little yellow Christmas ornament. Okay, just like that. And you're just gonna keep wrapping. And you're probably thinking like, how do I know I'm done? Well, you're gonna get like a good chunk of this like filled. So you're gonna keep going. I'm gonna throw in another red. And you kind of want them to be like away from each other. Does that make sense? Because you don't, like, the more randomly, like, you place them, the more, like, little ornament pops they're gonna look like. So, like I said, I'm just taking, like, some of this, like, a little piece, and just kind of throwing it in there. And you will know that you have covered everything here when you get like most of this area here will be filled up. You don't want it to be like so full that you can't close it or do anything, but you'll know, like it'll be pretty obvious when you're ready. And like I said, I'm just trying to throw these little pops of color in here. And then we're gonna do the other side because this is only one half of our pom-pom maker. I'm going to make sure it goes around the edge. Okay. And you can see it's kind of getting full here in the middle. You can see how it's full, it's getting filled up. Okay. So it's really super, super easy. Okay. So I'm going to throw on one more, probably white. Kind of like, some people like only white lights on their Christmas tree. I am not a white light Christmas tree girl. I like colors on my Christmas tree. I don't know. Are you a white lights only? Or are you a color Christmas tree person, Christmas lights person? When you drive around Paducah, it is kind of a southern, to me, it's a southern thing to be very all white lights. That's just how I feel, but I don't know. Like a lot of people don't think that. Okay, so that is side number one. And that is going to be held in place while we open up the other side and do side number 2. So I'm going to keep using this, or I can use, let's use this one. Yes. This one's a little darker green. Okay. I just put lights on my tree all white. I feel like that's a Southern tradition, and I am not saying it is bad. I do love seeing an all white light Christmas. It's not for me though. I grew up with white lights, or with colored lights, and yeah, we have LED C9s. Oh, it looks like the tree of your childhood. That is so lovely. I love that. I love that. Okay. So as you can see, so we are also colored lights folks. Now Mary is from Hammond, Indiana. I am from Calumet Park near Chicago, and ours were color. And to this day, my dad only puts red lights, all red only. He has a red only Christmas tree. It is, if you know my dad, you're like, all right, that's pretty cool. Because dad is not always like, Mr. Tradition, right? Like, but for dad to have like the all red Christmas tree, that is like not a normal Christmas tree. But I have to say, I give dad a lot of credit. He's got an all red Christmas tree. The tree, the balls are red. The decorations are all red. The tinsel strands are all red, metallic. He's got an all red Christmas tree. And I asked him, like, why red? And he's like, because I have a red sports car. And I was like, well, of course you do. Of course. And so, yeah, dad is definitely down on having red as his Christmas tree. So, and I did ask him if he was going to put up a Christmas tree this year. He said if I was coming to visit, yes, he would. If I wasn't coming to visit, no, he wouldn't. So dad is putting up an all red Christmas tree for me because I said I would come visit him. Okay, so we're almost done with getting this on here, and I'm just gonna cut just a couple more of these strands so that we can have some color on this tree. We've got some red, we've got some yellow, and we got white. I tried to find other colors, but I don't really have a whole lot. But these are great for using your different scraps of yarn. This is great for scraps. Yes, red. He does have a red car because red does, in fact, go faster. They have a color, a paint color, in the gaming world, and it is called Go Faster Red. And so we've got that. We've got this yellow that we can throw in here just to kind of keep going. And we're almost done. And then I'll show you this next step. This could not be easier. Okay. This is fun for all ages, all, everybody can have fun with the yarn. It does not take up like a whole ball to make a a thing here, okay, a pom-pom. You're like, how much yarn is this really using? And it's not really using a lot. So don't get like hung up on, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm using so much yarn. You're really not. Okay, so we've got this last bit. And as you can see, like in here, we're just making sure that we get, I feel like I want to throw the ball of yarn on the floor, and that'll help it come off the thing easier. Okay, so here we're getting there. We're almost done. I do kind of want to get around this little edge here. There you go, British Racing Green. That is a beautiful color. I do appreciate that as well. That's a fun one, okay? So as you can see, we're almost full. Like, so if you were to put your finger here, you see how you can just barely see underneath it? That's how you know you have gone and gone around quite enough. So when you are ready, you cut that and you clamp it. And then here is where, this is where the magic happens, I think. Okay? Yes. Okay, so according to the directions, okay, you take your string. Did I do this right? I did. Okay, so next you have to cut it. And I'm like, this is the scary part, my friends. This is where you take your sharp scissors and you start cutting. And you just get in there and you just cut away. Okay? And you're going to see this like thing split in the middle. That's kind of what's guiding your scissors. And you want scissors that have a good snip at the tip, because you're going to need to get down in there. And clip on that side, and then you just keep going right here. Isn't that fun? It's very satisfying. It's very enjoyable. I love it. Okay, so then when you are done snipping, do not take anything off of here yet. You need to take your yarn or a piece of string or yarn, and you wrap it right through the middle here, okay? And it's going to go between all of that that excess. You're going to make sure you've cut all your, you don't want any bridges. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to pull tight. You're going to pull it as tight as you can, and then you're going to knot it as tight. Oh, it fell off. So I'm going to use a second piece because I don't want it to fall off. You know what? Maybe I'll use this. This is a piece of string or ribbon. This is a ribbon. So this will not break. I know that. And what you can do is you can use this ribbon to hang it if you place the ribbon in the spot that you want it to be, and you tie that knot right there. Okay, you're pulling. Mary says you are digging the ASMR, right? If you're listening with headphones. Okay, and then you pull the pull this off, and you separate them, and your center. Okay, come on now. I'm looking at the the directions. It's kind of coming. Look at that. There's my center. It's like I don't want you to break. I know they won't break, but there we go. So, and then you can take these off. Look at that. Look at it. Look. Oh, see, I just should have just taken these off. Ooh, oh, oh. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. All right. But I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Look at how cool this is. Okay, my friends. But it is not yet a full. So, what I like to do with these, I've made these before. You give it a loving spank to get it to puff up. And now it's time to give it a haircut. Right? It's time to give it a haircut. And you're going to be like, Cheryl, what are you doing? You are cutting right into it. Yes. I am cutting right into it. And look at how much I'm cutting off. You're going to be like, oh, bye. I know. I love it too, Mary. Okay. Look, you kind of have to give it a little floof and then come back. There's more of that. Joy says, I used one of those back in the day. Yes. Isn't this fun? So what you're doing is you're trying to shape it at the same time. Give it a mohawk. Yeah, we are, essentially. So here you can start to see it's coming together in a triangle shape. And then we can cut the bottom more flat. Now, before you come at me and you're like, all of this, you could have said, look, this is a craft, right? Crafts are supposed to be messy. And if you're not like having fun, you're doing it wrong. Okay? So again, we're just trying to like create like a diagonal here. Okay, because somebody's going to be like, look at all of this. Now look, this can go into a project. You can put like one of those clear ornament balls and you can put all this in there. Okay? That would be fun. So as you turn it, you'll start to see like the things that are sticking out more. And you can just come in and trim those up. Right? Mary has got some good ideas. Okay. Now I will keep trimming and playing with this until it is perfect, but essentially the more you can see, it's very conical here at the top. Let me move some of this out of the way so you can see it. It's very conical here at the top where the top is, and then you have this down at the bottom, and then you can come back in and you can sort of play with like pulling all the ornament colors together so that they stay like together so that they look more like dot things instead of like individual spots. Does that make sense? Okay. There is a website called Fat Poms, which inspired me to make some fat pom-poms. But if you are on Facebook, look up the fat pom-poms, and you can. So I will probably finish this by doing a yellow ball on the smallest one and putting that, like sliding that right here onto the top so that this has a, and of course you got to get all the fuzzes off of it. So give it a good loving spank. Okay. And then you can, just fluff it up a bit. And look at how cute this is. And again, play with the individual places where you have your all of your little ornaments, and you can play with sort of clearing off the bottom and making it very, like, the bottom is very flat. Like, you don't have to make this a round ball. You can make it like bell shaped, which is essentially what we're doing, is making it bell shaped. And there's like kind of no wrong answer. Like, it comes out however you want it to come out. Like it can be so take a look at no, it's just FAT, Fat Pom-Poms. She is a pom-pom artist, which I know that is a thing. And she has, some pretty cool ideas. And that's where I kind of got this idea, to make a little, Christmas tree with the little spots for ornaments. And how fun! This was fun, you guys. This was like, it took like what, 10 minutes to make one. Now, if you did all of these as here, I'll show you a different view so that you can see just how it looks like a little tree. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? Okay, I'm gonna put a yellow ball, mini ball, at the top, and later tonight, I will put a picture up of it all finished. You guys, this was cute. Okay, the set of all four is $19.25. So it's not going to break your bank. You can go get some inexpensive yarn. I think this was on sale, 20-ish% off. And so that would make it about $3 for this big giant ball of yarn. And go and have some fun. You guys, I have had a really fun time with you tonight. I hope that you get some sewing and some projects done. Don't forget, if you are ordering for Christmas, our last day for guaranteed shipping is the 13th. And so you should have a wonderful evening. Have a fantastic weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. I will see all of you next week, probably with more stuff. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good one.